So you can eliminate the effects of even those karmas which have started bearing fruits at the time of realization on 8th step through Sanyam. And that's why Om Tat Sat दाता याद है। In life for which we are born, we are seldom, or a few people, maybe always, talk about getting absolute freedom, moksha, enlightenment, merging with the God, to gain all His qualities, never to reborn again. But how is that absolute liberation possible without first getting liberation, without first getting mukti, liberation in this life? I'm going to talk about a few steps today, scientifically, for you to understand that how to get that liberation. The first step is selfless work. Nishkam karma yoga, Nishkam karma yoga. Selfless work. Selfless work means Nishkam karma yoga, which means you perform an action. You absolutely do exactly what you are doing, but without any desire of any fruits from that action. With Him at your background. You're doing it because you have been born into a life. The Jeev, the Atma, has come into a Nashwar world which is not eternal for a purpose. So you're doing it because you have to. That's what the life is about. You continuously do that, but with Him at the back of your mind. Selfless action. Nishkam karma yoga. Nishkam karma. By rejecting rights and duties meant for personal gain. Personal gain, when I say, it's not soul consciousness, it's body consciousness. Rights and duties performed to gain satisfaction to the body consciousness. So you reject all of that. And prohibiting actions. So one is rejecting rights and duties meant for personal gain, and that is karma yoga. Karma yoga means you do things, you do get educated, you do perform in your interviews, you get a job, you do, if you are a politician, you do whatever you do, and if you are an entrepreneur, you do whatever you do, right? And that is what the life is all about. So you do all of that. Karma yoga. अकर्म योग नहीं, काम में कर्म। आप बॉडी कॉन्शियसनेस में, आप इस जीवन में पाने के लिए कुछ जो भी करते हैं, दैट इज काम में कर्म। और दूसरा है प्रोहिबिटेड एक्शंस। प्रोहिबिटेड एक्शंस मीन्स द थिंग्स which your mind, and I'm not talking about soul, I'm not talking about those 7 qualities of the soul. Prohibited actions, which your mind says, not the soul, which your mind says that yes, I shouldn't be doing it. I shouldn't be doing it. Stealing, lying, threatening, and all of that. Prohibited actions from your mind. So anything, rejecting all of that, all of these, whether they are karma or they are prohibited actions, rejecting all the rights and duties which are meant for personal gain. That is the first step. And that is Nishkam karma. You perform it. You have to, because you are in life. You can't sit. You have to do something. Even if you are not doing anything, you are still thinking. And that's also a karma. So you just can't stop. You have to reject all of that. Karma and prohibited actions. That's the first thing. Perform any action which is a karma. A karma means action performed but not performed. A karma means action performed but without any desire of any fruits out of that. Try that. That's the first step. Nishkam karma. And that's my learning. You can start from whatever. You can start from bhakti, you can start from jnana, you can talk about all of that. But I believe that that should be the first step. Nishkam karma yoga. Performing a karma without any desire, without any desire. The second step I would say follows from the first step. The first step, Nishkam karma, leads to dissipation of sins from minds, and then arises a firm discrimination between the permanent and the temporary. That dissipation of sins from the mind is important. Because it differentiates between the permanent and the temporary, and that's an important stage. The second stage is outcome of your action. Action means karma. Action means the action which you are not performing. You are performing in His remembrance, in your remembrance, without any desire of any fruit out of that. And when that is performed, that leads to dissipation of sins from the mind. And that's an important step, the second step. The discrimination between the permanent and temporary. But that's an outcome of the first step, Nishkam karma. Rejecting rights and duties meant for personal gain. Personal gain means the gain which you desire in this life. The discrimination between the permanent and temporary. That little but a very big difference, that realization, that discrimination is the second step, which follows from the first step. And then the third step, which gradually follows, complete control of mind and organs, which you call Vashikara. Complete control of mind and organs that follows from the second step, when you have that realization of the discrimination between the temporary and the permanent. Detachment from things in this world, that doesn't come automatically. That needs practice of Nishkam karma. And then the realization of what is temporary and what is permanent. And then a complete control of mind and organs. Detachment will be outcome of that. Detachment from this world. And thereafter leads to renunciation of all things, of all the things. That is your third step. The renunciation of all the things. When you have got that detachment from this world, from all the things of this world, by having a control over your mind and organs, that renunciation of all the things. Wow. Third step is something which you desperately want. That's where you want to be initially. That's the beginning. Renunciation springs the firm hankering of liberation. The firm hankering of liberation. And we are talking about the steps for liberation. Renunciation springs the firm hankering, the very firm hankering for liberation. And the fifth step, the fourth step, you don't have to do anything, will happen automatically. In fact, the third step as well will happen automatically. In fact, the second step will also follow automatically. You just need to follow the first step, Nishkam karma. And a stage, the fourth step will come. That will make you absolutely keen, absolutely dying for liberation. And then what? Starts the search for a teacher. You call them whatever. You call them priest. You call them guru. You call them teacher. You call them Param Dwij. You call them whatever. Doesn't really matter. But the fifth step is the search for a teacher. And thereafter follows Shravan. Shravan means hearing and understanding from the teacher. Hearing and understanding from the guru. They're all automatic things. They will automatically follow. You just need to do the first step, the second step, the third step, the fourth step, the fifth step, the sixth step, the Shravan. When you have found a teacher who suits you, who you like, then Shravan will begin, hearing and understanding from the teacher. And then the seventh step will automatically lead. You just have to take the first step, that's it. The seventh step will lead you into practice profound meditation. And that's your seventh step. After Shravan, you will be forced, you will be keen, you will do it automatically. You will do it automatically. Practicing profound meditation. Nothing can stop you from there. And then the eighth step. And then the eighth step. When mind becomes freed from all the defects, there arises the knowledge of reality. When it is free from all the defects, you will realize that knowledge. Unitative vision. One. Brahman, you, part of that unitative vision, that knowledge, immediate knowledge of the Brahm and Self, immediate knowledge, Advait vision, not two, just one, realization of the Self and the Brahm, that unitative vision. Then arises that knowledge when mind becomes freed from all the defects with that knowledge. The knowledge of the Supreme Being, the knowledge of Brahm, the knowledge of Brahman, the soul, the Supreme Soul, the one soul, the oneness, and you part of it. The Ishvara, the God, the one thing, and you realize yourself as big as you can see. The God, the Ishvara, the Allah, the Paramatma, Mandata. And that in itself is nothing less than realization. That Advait vision, that complete soul, and you are part of it. And when you see yourself, you see that 3/4 of the whole universe which is still unseen by everyone, by our science. Through the power of knowledge, that's your ninth and the last step. When you have got that vision of Advait, when you have seen the Self and the Brahman, then the ninth step, and that's your last step for liberation, that's your last step for Mukti. And then you can progress towards absolute freedom, Jivan Mukti. Through the power of knowledge, the results of the actions performed in the present life and the past lives are destroyed. With that knowledge, and that's why the effect of karmas are not eternal. They can be long, the effects, but they are not eternal. They can be destroyed. And with that power of knowledge, the actions performed in the present life till now and the actions performed in your past lives are all destroyed with that knowledge. And the actions performed after the realization of this knowledge, after the realization of the Self and the Brahm, do not bear fruits. They do not bear fruits. However, the actions which you have performed till now and the actions which you have performed in your past lives, which you have started bearing fruits before that realization, before that knowledge of the self and the Brahm, up to the 8th step. If they have started bearing fruit, they cannot be destroyed. They can be eliminated. And how they can be eliminated? Through Sanyam. Sanyam. Sanyam, which is the strongest of all disciplines in one's life. It is a triad of dharana, which is concentration, and determination, focus, dharana. So it is a triad. The Sanyam is a triad. And the first one is concentration, determination, and focus. And the second one is dhyan, meditation. And the third one is samadhi, absorption. So you can eliminate the effects of even those karmas which have started bearing fruits at the time of realization on 8th step through Sanyam. And that's why Jnanis have to live longer after realization, because they have to eliminate all those effects which have started bearing fruits. And Sanyam is the key. These are the 9 steps. I hope, sincerely hope, that this will help. My good wishes. Om Tat Sat.